Good afternoon. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Thank you for tuning in to our Crossroads Daily live broadcast here at Crossroads Community Church Studios in sunny Jennings, Oklahoma. So thanks for tuning in. Please share this. Let your friends know that we're on. Share it. They can come anytime. Click on it and watch it. Watch yesterday's was in 1 Corinthians chapter 3. Today we're going to be in that just a little bit further down, and we're going to start. He got to talking about living, not being controlled by our sinful nature. Don't be jealous and quarrel and argue and fight. And he said that proves you controlled by your sinful natures and living like people of the world. When one says, I follow Paul, another says, I follow Apollos, aren't you acting just like people of the world? And as Christians, we ought to act like who we are, Christians and followers of Christ, and not followers of something. And he says in verse 5, after all, who is Apollos? Who is Paul? Now this is Paul writing. He said, we're really not nobody. We are only God's servants, through whom you believe the good news or the gospel. Each of us did the work the Lord gave us. I planted the seed in your hearts, Apollos watered it, but it was God who made it grow. It's not important who does the planting or who does the watering. What's important is that God makes the seed grow. The one who plants and the one who waters work together with the same purpose. Both will be rewarded for their own hard work. For we are both God's workers, and you are God's field, you are God's building. And that's what I want to talk about again, is what you're following. And then also he said that we are only God's servants, to whom you believe the gospel. We did the work the Lord gave us. That's kind of what I want to fix on today. Now, a lot of people, I'm Baptist, I'm Methodist, I'm this or that. Well and fine. We have different people, different backgrounds that come out here. We're just our own little deal. We're not tied in with anybody anymore.
Just us.
We're just us. We
Mismatch.
was with the Church of God out of Anderson, and then we had some, they basically booted me out for some of my stuff, didn't line up with their stuff, and that's fine. I wasn't going to argue with them and stuff, so that's fine. You don't want me part of it? Well, I'll rock on and go do my own deal, and best I can serve the Lord. And that's what we're all. There are all those pastors that still the Church of God. I know some of them. They're God's servants. There's some other pastors left about the time I did. Ben Scroggs, Jonathan Scroggs, Chuck Scroggs, Scroggs boys, Chuck Sr., Chuck Jr. Those guys all went out and started churches and stuff, and some others, and that's fine. But what I want to do is, when it said that we are only God's servants, and that he said that it's God causes it to grow, it's not important who does what important is that God causes it to grow. And that's the thing, is that God gets the glory. Right. But if we're going to grow and allow God to grow us, especially in times like we're in right now, we're going to have to check our own self and not check what other people's doing or not doing. And again, the mask deal's raging. I saw today where Yale schools are going to close down for a couple weeks or whatever, and because of the COVID, go do virtual. They're still going to be teaching their kids and all that stuff like that. And there'll be people mad because they did. There'll be people mad because they didn't do it. We're still going to have church, Lord willing, tonight with their kids. We try to keep them social distance, keep them outside quite a bit. I already talked to our youth and children's ministers and stuff, and all of that. And, I don't know the perfect answer to all of that stuff. And I know people's getting it and all of that. But I know this. It's, again, who we serve or what we follow. And, oops, sorry, Kelly. I just elbowed Kelly. It said, when one of you want to follow something other than God, it's important. And each of us, notice he said, each of us did the work the Lord gave us. We all have a work to do to help each other out. Kelly, what's something that you see that we could do as people, or people doing, not doing, about, doing what God's called us to do, and each of us doing the work that the Lord gave us specifically to do?
I feel like that we need to concentrate more on His Word and getting in His Word to find that calling. A lot of people will be like, oh, I feel like the Lord's leading me to do this, but then you start failing. Well, if the Lord's leading you to do it, you're not going to fail. You're going to be successful. So you have to stay true to the Word. You have to stay true to what God has called you to do, because if you do that, then you're going to be successful.
Yes.
And He wants, and like you said, we each have something to do, and our somethings to do can change throughout our life. We might start as a Sunday school teacher, but then He calls us to be something much different as we age and as we grow older. And we never not have a purpose in God's kingdom.
Right.
We never not. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're 110 years old. You still have a purpose. Whether it's being that prayer warrior that young lady or young man needs, that's your calling. That's what He has. And so He changes us and moves us into a different position. We don't stay in the same calling our whole life.
Exactly. It's like some's planters, some's waters, some's spreaders, some's fertilizers, but it's important that God makes it grow. Because it says the one who plants, the one who waters work together with the same purpose.
Right.
And if the church is going to survive that, God will survive through this, and people will. I know He's always got a remnant.
Yes.
But as a whole, if churches are going to survive, we're going to start working together for one purpose. And the purpose, as Paul said,
watering each other.
Exactly. And that starts with us to make sure we're strong and viable to go into
Yes.
the world. But Paul said, all I know is this: Christ crucified, raised from the dead, coming back again. And that's the hope, that's the message that needs to be pushed and promoted, and love people that don't agree with us. Stand strong, stand firm, be bold. You know, the apostles prayed for boldness. Lord, you've heard their threats. You've heard there's a lot of threats being put out there.
There is.
Do
There's
this,
lots
do
of
that, or
stuff.
this is going to
Yes.
happen. But he said, just stay firm.
Yes.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about your threats. You stay in me, and we'll get through this. But we get dry if we're not watered, and that's where we can love one another, encourage one another, spur one another on to love and good deeds. But it also said, don't forsake the assembling of yourselves together. And a lot of times it's real easy, I know, to, oh, well, COVID's, Corona, you know, what if Jesus would have done that to the lepers? And I'm not saying let's go out there and spit in each other's mouth and lick each other.
Absolutely not. We need to be smart and we need to be safe. But we still need to be loving on each other.
Exactly.
We still need to be helping each other. We
Encouraging
still need to be
each other,
encouraging each other.
and checking up on each other
Because
if
we're
you're
all
sick.
facing such a battle, you know, and a lot of what's not being talked about right now is the mental health issue, or the mental health side of this whole pandemic. A lot of people are facing things that they've never faced before. A lot of people are facing depression. A lot of people are facing anxiety. A lot of people are having panic attacks that never had them before. And we need to be able to love people through those, not just look at them and say, oh, you're being dramatic. No, they're not being dramatic. They're in a hard place, and we need to be able to help them.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, there will be people that are, but they'll make a mountain out of any molehill.
Oh, yeah.
But that's not our call on what they're doing or why. Just go through
Their
it.
thing is important to them at that moment, and
Help
that's
them.
what we need to understand. It drives me crazy when somebody says, well, you should be proud that that's the only thing you have because so-and-so has this. And so, well, I get that, and I understand so-and-so has those things, but the things that are important to me are important to me.
That's right.
And I need help, or whatever at that moment. And we need to listen when somebody is crying out for help, and not just shrug it off and say, well, but so-and-so has this. No, that's important to them. Encourage them through that. Love them through that.
And if you realize it doesn't matter who plants who waters, but with the same purpose, but both be rewarded. But what's important is that God causes it to grow. But people can't grow if we're in the way, or we're putting too much on them and things like that. So we'll get in this together for one purpose and one mind, with what God's called us to do. And what God's called us to do is be light in darkness. And I know that this pandemic is even bigger than the world wars we went through and stuff. It's not lasted as long as what they did.
Yes.
But it's around the whole world, the complete entire world known to man is being affected by this. Like Kelly said, there's people having anxiety attacks, depression, anger, frustration, that haven't had it because no one knows. And I know doctors are trying to figure treatment protocols out. Well, the CDC says this, and they've changed. Well, I don't know. They don't know. I'm going to tell you straight up. It changes.
Knows.
As things change, they're going to find out more information. Well, this worked. No, that didn't work. Well, this worked, and everybody, there's not an end all to be all to fit all yet. But
but we need
get
to
through
learn
it.
to live with it.
Exactly.
We need to learn to live with it and grow with and grow through it.
And make sure that anything that you do, whatever you do, we went out to Chisholm Trail Cowboy Church last night. Lori and I met Caitlin out there, and JT preached and sang last night, and their pastor Kelly Cronkite said, whatever you do, if you get vaccinated, you don't get vaccinated, you come, you don't come, you watch online, whatever you do, do it in faith. It's faith expressing itself through love, and that's it. If you're just counting on that vaccine to fix it, you're going to get disappointed. Or if you're just counting, well, I'm not vaccinated and so I can fight it off, you're going to be disappointed. I'm telling you right now. But if it's faith, it's however you do it. Mask, no mask, quarantine, no quarantine, come to church, don't come to church, watch us online, whatever. It better be in faith, and it better be expressing itself through love, or we won't be pleasing to God, and we won't be called according to His purpose. Right. It don't matter if it's Baptist, Methodist, Lutheran, non-denominational, Cowboy. None of that matters. That matters not. Now, I know a lot of people it does, but what matters is, are we in Christ? Are we planting seed, watering seeds, and then watching God grow it? But are we called according to His purpose? And His purpose is Jesus Christ, for Him to get the glory, and for Him to be the name above all names. And so God bless y'all. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Yes. Our kids will be in here tonight at 6, our little kids, K through 5th graders. Vans, buses are running. We are going to feed them. And then our junior high and senior high youth will be in here at 7, adult Bible study. We'll kick off about 7:10 tonight. So again, that's all going on, same as always. So Lord willing, we'll be here. So hope you can come out tonight. And if you can't, watch us online. Our adult program, the kids program, of course, on online. But remember those that are sick. We still got a few of our folks that's under the weather. Remember them. Remember those that are traveling. JT's headed back home to Texas, so pray for him as he travels back. Remember Greg McDougal, another guy that comes and sings and shares here. And in a lot of places all across the country, he's still battling COVID, so remember him as others. So I had some people in my family come down, heard he got a positive test, so remember them in prayer.
Yes,
remember Doug Hart, Victoria, as they trying to get over COVID as well. We missed them. They get back up on the feet and get back going again.
Yes.
So if we can help, let us know.
Yes.
We'll do the best that we can. So, hey, watch. We're also fixing to do a concealed carry class. We've got that coming up. It's going to be first part of October, and also a Pistol 1 class. Our range is open. You can come out, shoot. It's by appointment, so holler at us. We can fill you in all the details on that. You can call the church number 918-399. What's the
5956.
5956. My cell 405-570-7616. You can do that. So God bless you. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. And again, we can help you. Don't forget the Teen Challenge, Oklahoma Adult Teen Challenge, folks.
Yes, they will be here.
We'll be here Sunday. We're still taking up laundry detergent. We got quite a bit brought in, so thank you for that. Kelly touched base with them today, so it's confirmed. They know
are going to be here.
Going to be here, so we'll look forward to
there
being
will be
them at
young
9
men
and
giving
11.
their testimonies and all of that. So be sure and come and just encourage them and lift them up as well.
We got that all going on Sunday. Again, we can help you between now and then. Let us know. So God bless you. Remember, it's faith over fear and Christ over crisis. And God bless you. And if you need us, holler at us, and we'll do the best. Not saying we can fix everything, but we'll do what we can do. So God bless you. Have a great Wednesday.